Hello, my friends. So, if today's date, June the 8th, is your birth date, this is a reading for you for this year. This is a three-card pull, a general energy card for the year, a challenge you might face this year, and an action to take to keep yourself in balance this year. So, the general energy card for you for this year, June the 8th date, is agape. And agape asks you to look at what you worship. It asks you to look at what you put in your sense of the sacred. What do you look at in the sense of uh, touching the divine and your own sense of divine purpose? So, what are you putting on your altar? What are you putting on your table of worship? What are you looking at that lifts you out of yourself and brings you into more um, understandings of the universe, understandings of sacred love, understandings of devotion, understandings of service? Agape is a lot about service to others, service to a higher cause, service to the greatest sense of love and sacredness, service to yourself and rising above your own traumas and your own emotional drains and your own fears and your own ego um, things that stop you. You know, the ego pieces that say you're unworthy, you're unlovable, you're a victim. So agape chooses to rise above those feelings and look for the more connectedness in being, looks for the more spiritual impulse in being, looks for the greatest service that one can do to further all of us along, all of humanity, all of the beings on this planet, world, Earth, solar system, uh, that it's the recognition that everything is sacred and we are all sacred and we have a dignity and an honor. So, what is the agape that you have this year? Maybe it is a divine connection to family. Maybe it is a divine connection to brotherhood, sisterhood. That we are all in this together, and that we all need to be fed and nourished as we go through this. So agape is that bigger paradigm, that bigger ignition into something sacred beyond self, that deep connection of spirituality. So what is your challenge this year? Well, the challenge is the Eight of Swords. On some level, um, you believe that you're bound into some kind of network of belief systems or rules or doctrines or regulations that keep you bound up and blind to what is really going on to you. So, the challenge for you this year is to not feel stuck in what is being presented to you, to not feel stuck in some kind of prison, to not feel stuck in some kind of indoctrination that says you can't be this outside of this and be sacred and be holy. And that is the challenge for you to take your blinders off, to remove your own bindings, because they're of your choice, and to fly above the swords that say, well, you can't do that. The judgments that say, well, you shouldn't do that. To fly above the organization and say, well, that's not sacred and that's not holy and that's not how we do it. Because this is about you finding your truth and you finding your path. So your challenge is for you to find your own truth this year and not be bound by the dogmas, not be bound by the indoctrinations, not be bound by your own negative beliefs about yourself that others have given to you, that have enforced some kind of pattern of distrust of yourself, unworthiness in yourself, unlovability in yourself. Those are all uh, negative negative framings that need to be changed this year. And so the challenge is to break free and allow yourself to set up new boundaries and new understandings for yourself. So, what is the action you can take this year? Well, it's the armadillo. And who better than the armadillo's great armor to set boundaries? So you need to set really clear and clean boundaries this year. Ones that are steadfast, ones that can't be impregnable, that can't be breached. And otherwise you can be vulnerable, but this is a powerful year for you to set your sights on being truthful, authentic, and living your own sense of what is right and true and holy. So to like the armadillo, set up several rings. Set up a ring around you that says, I will allow these things to come across this ring and be in my sphere. Then there's another ring that says, well, I will allow these kind of things to come up close so that I can really look at them and feel into them and understand them on deeper levels. And then there's another outside ring that says, I'm not going to allow this to be in my sphere of influence anymore. I'm going to set really deep boundaries and say, no, you cannot perpetrate this on me again. No, you cannot call me this again. No, you cannot look at me this way again, because I'm changing that pattern. I'm changing that belief. I'm living holier to myself. I'm living truer to myself. I'm extending agape to myself. The first card, remember, I'm extending agape, sacredness, and honor to my growth, my power, my truth, and my dignity. And I'm extending that to everyone else who feels like they are barraged and overwhelmed by others who criticize and control and imprison them. So this is about breaking out of your imprisonment and learning how to extend yourself into greater love and service and connection to truth and self and honor. So look to the armadillo for your protection. Look for the armadillo for your honor. Look for the armadillo for your statement of boundaries that need to be really clear this year. And as you go along, you'll get rid of some of those swords of judgment that you have chosen to believe about yourself that have been given to you from others or carried by you for a long time. So you can further become authentic in yourself and further become connected to the deep spiritual union of beingness that we all share. And may you not feel lonely. May you not feel abandoned. May you not feel worthless. May you not feel unloved as you go through this next year and learn that none of those things are true, that you are not those things, and nor do you have to have that as your reality. So blessed be.